All right, YouTube people, you're back with hopefully a more I can't find the word. It's not comprehensive. Content driven isn't a word. It's a fucking sentence. I don't know. It's gonna have stuff in it. The last one didn't have any stuff. Substantial. Substantive. Substantive is the word I'm looking for. A more substantive video. There we go. In other words, stuff. Substance. Substances. Listen, I play Gearbox games. Look at this sentence. If you think that I'm bad, Misteralizer. Mysteriousler. That's kind of funny, actually. Murder on Asheton Road. There comes a time in every teenage orphan's life when their thoughts turn to spooky podcasts. I'm not gonna argue that. But that was seriously really cool, Mal. Thank you very much, man. I really am grateful. That is really cool. I can't wait to show my nephew that.
So I'm starting a podcast. It's about inexplicable.
You did a great job, my man, and I appreciate you making it.
It's called Mysteriously.
Doesn't exactly trip off the tongue. More trips down the stairs and breaks his neck.
Hey, you tried coming up with a podcast name that hasn't been taken.
You know, I don't know how Only Use Me Blades did the whole drunk streaming thing, because part of being a content creator is you feel a lot of responsibility. I know I have felt a lot of responsibility. Y'all are gracing me with your time when you all live busy lives. You can watch television or any other streamer or YouTube or anything else. You gotta earn them and appreciate them hours that people are willing to put in to the stream. And I gotta say, it feels a bit disrespectful to me to go ahead and make that content one where you're basically just fucking off, getting real drunk, watching your life turn downhill fast. But in a very fourth wall breaking moment, I saw that one of Only Use Me Blade's donors said to his current wife, Bea or someone, she just got done poking his finger for the diabetes test. Said, "How dare you try to save him? We've been trying to kill him for years," read the donation. And people laughed, but it was true too, wasn't it? Pretty dark. Ava's finding her way in the world, which obviously entails starting a supernatural podcast. She needs a co-host, and that's where you come in. Episode 1 finds you solving a murder mystery on Prometheus Asheton Road. Okay. Let's do at least a couple of these. Prometheus it is. I definitely want to do the raid boss before we're done. We're gonna die. To be fair, we are going to die. I do not have a build for it, but I don't care. We're at least gonna try it. Under no false pretense. We could maybe lower the mayhem level just to kill it. Where are we going? This is where it says to go, so this is where I'm going. Logo if you want. Yeah, I mean, well, let's see what Waffly produces, and I'll man up since you made such a badass thing and send an email to dude. I think he's Spanish. See if maybe I can pay him for the rights. But if it's anywhere over $100, I'm just gonna have to make something on our own. I assume he gets work because he does really good stuff. I've got it favorited, his website. Oh my god, I've also got this favorited. Look at this shit. This is worth showing the YouTube people as well. I don't have it set up yet. Sorry, YouTube people, you have to come to the Twitch. I'll set it up for the next stream, though. Where's it at? Look at this article. I've been meaning to show you guys this. Anthem is a 10-year journey like Destiny, says EA execs. Isn't that amazing? That blows my fucking mind. But Asheton Road. Prometheus is probably the coolest planet they did. Just because it looks cool and there's content. If Necro DeFeo had the level of content that Prometheus does, to be continued, that's exactly right. Yes. Yes. Ah, that's the face of a winner. Mothers, don't let your children grow up to be streamers. Oh yeah, we're not in bullshit anymore. I gotta rely on this broken ass series of Novas to grind through everything.
Did that one have a bounty? No! You sure?
Our Novas will save us, I'm sure. They won't be the shooting. Montana versus Spin to win. I'm looking forward to this. Let me film this episode, then I'm gonna play it. That way we can watch and enjoy it. I've already got the link clicked up. Right here, we'll just do this shit. It's pretty cool, Will. So. See that shit? That's why I quit yesterday. That time it was probably that barrel behind me. Oh, who's picking me up? Oh, what? Pick me up then, damn it! One of the janitor bots from one of the side quests. Just dying to random shit is so annoying. But I do appreciate having AI here to pick me up. It was in Montana's ult. He just absorbs the shit out of any damage, returns it. Ah. They nerfed Zane's cannon. They Zane the skill, commitment. Again, under the ubiquitous build diversity. Maybe we need to drive. How far away is this? Not that bad, but still. I want to drive. There was new vehicles added in the Guyana DLC, and they did not make their way into the main game, and that disappoints me. They added in Borderlands 2 like 4 new vehicles, but then when you go to the overworld, you can't spawn them. It doesn't make any sense. Why limit those vehicles to just the DLC? What's the point? Like, I want to feel like, yo, I unlocked some new vehicles. I'm gonna drive around some old content, some new wheels. Ah, so worth going and getting that new vehicle. Very good, much worth. The one thing Slam is good for. Hey, Randy. The Nerf hammer's coming. Gearbox. Fixing what's not broken. Exactly right. They made Valley 1 guns great again, but they still take a long time to charge up. See, this is just all about the Novas we're producing. So very little of it is the guns. We're just a walking... We're like that one thing in Kirby, the rock monster, like the volcano thing that constantly goes off. That's what this build is. But it's super sketchy and dependent on one extremely specific Nova burner. I still think Zane is best off using Anything that can freeze enemies a lot and have an uptime on your skills. Is this a new area, maybe? I mean, this is where the thing's pointing us, so... Oh, well. Maybe this is new. This is new. I've never seen this before. That's cool. Added a new area. Probably multiple. The voice of a saint. A Saint Bernard. On an SSD, by the way. What exactly is this new DLC? So, Season 2 is like a smorgasbord. In the director's cut specifically that we're playing today, Gunner, you get the new raid boss, which is the Varkid boss, which was literally leaked the day after the game came out, so they've been sitting on that one for a while, I think. You get anointment rerolling, which is nice. They introduced their version of Xur to the game with Maurice. Every Thursday, they'll have a black market vending machine show up with some of the best legendaries in the game. They added the diamond chest, which is unlocked through... There it is. We didn't have it the last episode 5 minutes ago. This thing, which is honestly the thing I was looking the most forward to. The VIP card. Gives you something to do. Has a bunch of you... And they're going to keep adding these, apparently. But I really think they're going to have to add some money behind it in order to keep making them. I don't care what Morning After Kill says. He gave up on the game. They got to monetize a little bit. This game is not malicious with its microtransactions at all. It's been ethical the whole way. I got plenty of criticisms of Borderlands, but they've been real G's on the up and up on the money front, and I appreciate it. So, and I got physical copy, you know, the whole thing. Anyway, Guardian. This is new to me too, so we're kind of learning together at this point. Oh, here it is. Complete 1 Trial of Supremacy, kill 20 enemies with a technical, kill 25 spider ants. So those are my dailies. You'd be your dailies too. Weekly, kill 300 enemies with corrosive elemental weapons. Sweet. So then you unlock points, which unlock basically a punch card. Echo skins, weapon skins, and at the best, weapons uniquely designed for these cards. So it's more like a permanent, when there's not events going on, there's always a little something to do. These are themed around characters they've lost. So that would be Mordecai's bird. I forget the freaking name, which is terrible, but I do. Wizzy Mechanic. Obviously Scooter. Guardian. Maybe Maya? I don't know. Go get him, kids. Gotta be Maya. And then Roland. Actually, what is that Super Soldier do? Gain fire rate, ammo regeneration, movement speed while shield is full. On shield full, gain a protective barrier for 5 seconds. I don't know. While shield full is pretty much the worst of all the situational skills because it's always under attack. But that protective barrier might have some interesting implications. Never know. All I know is the last time that I played, I was experimenting with this gun, and I wonder why. Because the last time I was playing, we went ahead and 100%ed all there was, and... Oh, man, those sinuses are all fucked up. And I was really trying to dig hard on this build, because I was going to make a YouTube video for you. If you're still out there, fella, the guy who wanted me to update my Zane's Doom build, I was trying. I promise you I was trying. And this was it. And the stuff that I needed was behind the breakdown, the takedown that's really, really hard to do. The second one that they launched, which will probably be the last one they ever launch. So I pretty much gave up. But here we are now. Maybe I can do it now. That action skill active, the Nova. See, all this ties together. This was the build I was going for. Which now with anointment rerolls, maybe I can do it. So when I pop my shield out, boom, 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 boom. That's like 6 Novas every time I shoot the cannon. Boom, 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 boom. There's lots of boom boom, okay? Lots of booming! And those Novas by themselves can't kill enemies, but when you Nova that constantly, and if all your friends also Nova, it adds up. It adds up to a whole lot of damage. So this was just a great mobbing build. And what was great about it is you didn't even have to fire your gun. But it was also pretty freaking gear specific. So there's that. I lost my train of Bloodwing, thank you. Hit World Tier 13, time to get some sleep. Have a good night. Hey, have a good night, Justin. Justin, you have a good night. You have a great night. You have a wonderful night. You have a fantastic night. You have a fabulous night. Superior night. The best night. A good night. A great night. Good night, Justin. Thanks a lot, Shadow, for hanging out tonight. Congrats on World Tier 13, buddy. Appreciate you. Thank you. Have a good night, fella. How does the anointment rule work? It costs iridium, and I haven't actually done it yet, so we'll check it out after we do this quest. We'll check it out together.
Today we'll be talking to Lorelei, a resistance fighter on the side of Atlas in the Promethean War.
All right, Lorelei's back.
Cool hair and sweet jacket, she's like a quintuple shot of
The vid popped up on my recommended. It's got a decent amount of views, probably because I watch so much Doom. What did, Wilso? Your Xbox clip?
Oh, I have an incredibly short attention span. And honestly, I have no idea how I get roped into half these things.
Oh, that's cool. Nice. Thanks for letting me know about that, Wilso. Yeah, so I don't think that guy will ever see what I just talked about, but I was trying to update that build.
Malawan must have made him, but I gotta know how. There's been no chatter, and he was sure his cover was solid.
Just Borderlands 3,
Killed him was someone he trusted.
which means hot and cold.
And what of the paranormal
It's playing fun, things are going well, and then
It's just a murder, not
they either nerf the hell out of some stuff, or the performance falls off, or the balance completely changes overnight.
Right, give it a look around. See if you find any clues.
Nope, false alarm.
Forced entry, sternum punch, right shoulder dislocated, left femur broken, Achilles tendon snapped.
Sloppy work. Didn't even try to make it look like an accident. We're not looking for a professional. Hey, I'm not reading that. Stop printing my letters to the editor.
New adult bots available now. Bot job. Also known as Randy's USB drive. Borderlands stream team never.
Single serving frozen dinner. Our man wasn't expecting. Aww. And he didn't even get to eat the brownie.
Dead game. Why you play this? What up, Ashton? Thanks for popping in here, buddy. Saying hello. Did you get season 2, Ashton? I really like the lighting. Like the actual scene that they've set here is really cool.
Security still in place. Must have found a sneakier entrance. Maybe even talked their way in. Didn't even nick some goodies on the side. Our
Definitely
suspect
oozes
only
Borderlands-y
had
goodness. Everything is on theme and looking
Right, what
unique.
we got?
This guy was somebody's target, all right. Nothing stolen, doors locked from the inside. Fella put up a fight. But it
Nope.
didn't do him any good.
Classic ghost scenario.
I don't blame you.
Pass right through walls.
Back feeling better, but it's about to be sinus season now. Yeah, no doubt about it. Tell me about it, DJ. Welcome back, man. Even Maya kissed me off. I found the cowboy shit boring. Never got back into it. I love that DLC. I'm not trying to be a contrarian, but the Guyana DLC was my favorite. It had a lot of content to it. I like the Psycho one the least. So you might like that they have a scene. You may have already seen it on Twitter, Ashton, but they show what they originally wrote for Maya's death scene, and it is so much better. It might make you feel better about it, and it makes you like Ava better as well. I'm not sure why it was cut or why they couldn't go with that scene, but it really has... The delivery is much better. Quality shooting there.
Next time.
saw you posted it. Yeah, Gearbox posted it. It's all with this new cut, but I don't blame you for getting behind on it. It's Borderlands 3's had a rough journey. It's never been a bad game, but it's never been a great game, and it had huge shoes to fill. And yeah, we're talking like this is the end, because I do expect this is the end. I don't see them doing season 3. I think we were lucky to get a season 2.
Nice alley you got here. Notice anything strange, like, say, a murderer?
Yeah.
And I do still think the game could be more, but on to 4, I imagine.
Definitely a ruckus. Then chanting? I heard them run off that way.
At least now they have all this work on the new engine. They built a new engine for this one.
Sure.
They've got a lot of assets in here they can now use for the next one. But I just think they need to go bigger, better, bolder for the next one. They've got to really start to throw some big time punches and try to reassume the throne. Instead of just, if it ain't
Looking
broke.
for someone who came through here. Maybe did a murder. Ring any bells?
They took
I saw someone
virtually no risks with Borderlands 3.
hard to tell in all that red armor, but I know blood when I see it. There's crimson, and then there's scarlet, and I haven't even gotten to
Which they even explain in the Guyana DLC. When you get the whole movie reels put together, when you get all the movie reels put together, you get to go into the theater and watch the movie they made. And they talk about the sequel, and they're like,
Maybe they stole his uniform.
it's a fan who would be overly critical of Borderlands, saying like, oh, this can never follow up the first movie, it was too good. And they're like, well, what if we make it just as good, but we add a new cast of lovable characters for the next generation? And that's what they did, and I get it, because it makes me think about like Halo 5. Like if Halo 5 was my first Halo, I think I'd probably still fall in love with Halo. I don't know that I'd fall in love with it as much as so many of us did. It was so special to hear the Xbox boot up like a mothership. And then to hear that music for the first time, there was just nothing that had been like it, at least on consoles. And on PC, I mean Half-Life, that's the closest experience like that, as far as in time frame, I would imagine. The problem for Borderlands, getting a whole new generation of people to come and love it, rebuilding from what made the first 2 games great, but adding a whole new cast of characters and a whole new world in order to build a new fan base, is that their this new fan base grows up on Fortnite and Destiny, grows up on live service, and a lot of things have changed in 7 years. A lot has changed. The same people didn't build up around the game. It did. Fuck them for cutting that. The cut version was way better. I don't know why they decided to go with the one where she somehow blamed Roach for Maya's death. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And Tannis' words are so stupid. That whole scene is just bad. It doesn't fit, and I feel like they had to know better, because they given all this respect to Roll. And the reason you have to do Maya right is because there's so many, probably millions of players, without exaggerating, Borderlands 2 has done that well, players that have played Maya and loved her, and that's been their main, and they feel really connected with the character, and they feel connected with her lore.
Damn it!
So she needs a lot of respect, and they've given a decade of eulogy to Roland, but they gave Maya that one shitty scene, and then we just kind of move on. Like they're like, yeah, we're gonna do this for Maya, but it never feels the same. They did Scooter right. They gave Scooter a hero's death. They gave Maya the most lame,
I can use the serial number
convoluted forced death. Oh, I have this ability.
Hopefully, the murderer.
A breakthrough in the case, but can science
I should be paying
stand up
attention to this more.
supernatural forces rising to thwart justice?
The Borderlands hasn't evolved. It's my biggest gripe. It's Borderlands 2 worked. Borderlands 2 was also pioneering in its way with Guardian rank,
With the devil.
with the persistent multiplayer world, with the loot system, especially because every company had its own pieces of gear, which would randomly manufacture themselves into brand new weapons across all the manufacturers. That game was it. It was the it for its time. for a good reason. And Borderlands 3 just is. It's Borderlands 2 with the scaling of Borderlands the pre-sequel, and it's the ultimate Borderlands 2 quality of life patch. Which would have been amazing if it was 2015. And it's still a great game. Well, not a great game. This is not a great game. This is a good game. They were in a really tough place, though. You don't want Gearbox to be like one trick pony. And they tried not to do it in Battleborn, and Battleborn is genuinely and did break a lot of ground. The game was just so fun to play. Put hours and hours into it. I guess I was just listening to it. Having that, the loot tie into the MOBA. Going to the PvE, grinding up loot, and then getting to apply that to those big epic battles. 30 plus players, all the depth that came up. Like that was Gearbox's Hail Mary to me. That was them going out and throwing punches. Post Borderlands 2, this company that used to make ports of Half-Life and Brothers in Arms, it was amazing. That port of Halo. That was my dream job. When I was in college, I wanted to work for Gearbox because I loved Borderlands, and that was, you know, I saw it as like a medium company, a good company to work for.
Never mess with a bloke who works retail.
And I feel like they got really screwed on Battleborn, and when unfortunately that game went kaput and the market didn't reward them. I feel like they had to play it a lot safer with the next one. They had to get what resources they had left. They had to work with 2K, and they needed to produce a game that was meat and potatoes fundamentally was gonna work, and they knew would sell. And that game was Borderlands 3. Whenever they released Borderlands 3, it was gonna sell like hotcakes, and it did. But it was in a tough position from the beginning. Massive hype for the company that was really wounded emotionally. I would really argue that a good portion of that company was wounded after the failure of Battleborn. Imagine if Battleborn came out summer 2015, multiplayer only. Then when Overwatch comes out, they drop the single co-op campaign on us. Absolutely. You know, we'd be a different story. It's like going back and looking at World War II and saying, hey, what if the French had pushed the assault in 1939? Hey, what if the French commander had listened to that scout plane and said the Germans had overextended their lines and have fuel? Like, you look back at these moments and you know that the history of the world could have changed on a dime. And the same thing there. Randy talked about it, and Randy Varnell, so-called Good Randy, talked about it on Third Shift. He said that was what you just said was their plan. They didn't even plan to do a campaign. I know Adam used to swing and miss about 15 times before I restarted your out. Used to talk to Adam Youngson, used to talk to some of the devs. Let's just ignore that this is happening right now. And they said, according to Adam, they wish that they didn't even do a loot system for the sake of balance, which definitely implies that they plan to only do multiplayer from the beginning. But to me, it was that mix. It was that mix that really drove that game. I see where they're coming from, and I know that a lot of players felt the same way. It's whole like set of rules in the competitive community around loot. So being able to break up the monotony of multiplayer, break up the monotony of the campaign, and trying out new builds and new gear in the multiplayer kept it, without exaggeration, infinitely fresh. I never really got sick of it. I couldn't hit that bitch. But I've been able to hit this tiny little head on this Goliath like 5 times in a row. That's what I need to be doing. This build is all about diving in there and doing novas. Got sick of heliophage after a while. Oh, hell yeah. Heliophage. Heliophage was so obviously not done. He said, this is what Rainy Burnout says to Third Shift. He says that they wanted to do 2015.
Get off my planet!
Multiplayer only. And 2K came to him and said, can you get a campaign and be a $60 title? Like, we need that for our shareholders this year. We really need a new game on the shelves. Can we give you another year and you design a campaign for us? And they didn't want to, but they said, yeah, we'll do it. And it changed the whole strategy for the launch of Battlefield. And so they did that whole campaign in a year, which is pretty impressive because it's not a bad story, especially once you add the incursion, whatever DLCs they did. It's like, they were good too. They were really meaty as far as content. Those 4 story DLCs they did, once you add those in there, it's a good story. And with a cliffhanger. I'm not sure why they did that, because I don't think we're ever going to get to see the end of that cliffhanger. They did that in a year. That's the larger point. In 1 year, they went from, we're going to release free-to-play, we're going to be multiplayer only, to 2K wants us to get a $60 AAA title on Saboteur. You were the first people in the world to do the Saboteur. Saboteur was your shit. You're a Battleborn legend. You were the Battleborn Ashton. Any year they do that campaign, which is crazy to think about, especially and they work the whole Battleborn loot system. That game never stopped being efficient. That's what I'm talking about with Borderlands 4. This game was a hit. Yeah, it's not. Sure, Destiny's won in many ways. Which. You have to look at why Destiny is currently winning, look at what makes it win, and then somehow win yourself, like take it from Destiny, so that we get games where we own them again. I don't want to live in this world where we rent everything, we don't own any games we buy, we have to always follow these arbitrary rules that are server-sided, and we can't take our game offline, and we can't patch it up. Can't mod the game. We can't just play and farm and play and farm. It's not weekly lockouts and caps. That's the Destiny world, which is where we're rapidly approaching the Gotcha world. So look at what works, take those systems. You think we can play Outriders in 15 years? Oh, absolutely not. I mean, obviously the RM'd it, servered it. But I know that I can play Borderlands 1 and 2. I know that I can play Borderlands 3. Even Gathalion really shit on Borderlands a lot. He's not doing it from a malicious place, but he doesn't like the game like he used to, and he obviously loves Destiny. Mentioned Outriders today that its launch failed now, that he could just play, you know, the internet goes down, he can just play Borderlands. Same thing. That's why, to me, it's still so important. That's why I support this game and my ability to do so. That's why even when it's been frustrating, I'll keep playing. To me, from an ethical standpoint, or consumer advocacy standpoint, the dog in the fight that Gearbox has chose to come in on is real. It's not like they're the fucking benevolent leaders of our time. I mean, alien colonial marines exist. And whether it was a comma that was misplaced that ruined the AI or not, we all know from many an article that something shady seems to have gone down. And there's only one person saying that it did. There's 50 people in the room all pointing fingers, and one guy pointing back. And we don't even need to mention any names. They're a business. They exist to make money. But you can do that in a situation, in my opinion, that's win-win. Your customer can win just as much as the business can win. I don't think it is fair. I don't think it is right. In fact, I argue it's downright immoral that, say, Ashton, his team in Destiny, or anybody who's put thousands of hours into Destiny 1, does not really own that. And somebody could argue some bullshit like, yeah, but what about the sand Mandelas? Any pursuit of material things is trivial in the end, so what does it really matter? It matters because our life is measured in time, and we chose to spend some of that finite life on these things. We dedicate ourselves to this hobby and created something our own as a result. Had our own memories, our own experiences, our own characters, etc. And I don't think that once the game enters that space, that someone has a right to take it away. Unless you cheat or you steal it. But why should all these people who put all this time into Destiny 1 not have real ownership over that? To me, that's not right. It's not right. What happened with Battleborn? That's fucking awful, and that is Gearbox. I don't know if it's fucking awful. It's fucking awful. It's like people want murder. It's just not right. People bought Battleborn, and because it's server-sided, you can't play it. Even if you own the disc, it won't work. Yeah, Randy, here comes Randy. Saboteur operations, thank you, Ashton. Yeah, I'm going on that. The soapbox has been intense. Oh, I appreciate y'all letting me indulge myself. No, I don't think so, Mal. Do you think so? I really like Outriders. I like it a lot. But no, unfortunately. No. And that has another purpose. Like, if you love movies, like, look at Ted Turner. Ted Turner, I don't know if he's even still alive, but obviously he's absolutely wealthy. That man loves TV and movies. He's put a lot of his fortune into archiving TV and movies. We love video games. And since the media still wants to cast gamers down as, you know, all soon to be or would be mass shooters, unless you're 14 and making money on Fortnite.
Fancy that!
It's going to be up to us to archive it. I know you already showed the the video game museum, Mal, and of course I would take it further. I think government money should be. We have a national film archive. We have a national archive for the arts. Why is there not the same respect being given to digital media? This is a synergy of creative and technical skills that very few people can do, and even fewer people can do well. And it gets shit on. Still gets shit on. So it's going to be up to us, but the game companies aren't doing themselves any favors. We can't archive something that we can't even play. We can't go and 30 generations from now say, yeah, there was this really cool company, it was Gearbox, and learn from it. Gearbox is no more, and say they tried to produce. They tried their hand at the League of Legends thing, but they really did something totally unique with Battleborn. And I'd love to show you what made it so cool and what made it so unique, but it doesn't exist anymore. Now the code exists. It's on a hard drive somewhere, but hard drives corrupt. You know, it's on a server stack, it's in the cloud. All of that stuff can be wiped. Some art does deserve to die because it's shit, but when the art's good, why should it die? Why wouldn't we want to keep it around for its place in history? Battleborn, it's not going to be there. I really think it should be a Library of Congress type thing for games, that I could go back and play any game at any patch. Yeah, why not? I mean, the memory's gonna exist. Memory's getting cheaper. We're gonna continue to have breakthroughs in memory. We just there's no reason. What do we have to lose? We have everything to gain and nothing to lose by appreciating it. That doesn't mean we put every freaking game in there. Like, you only put E.T. the Extraterrestrial in there as a landmark game in that it was so bad that it arguably crashed the industry. You put the stuff in there that really broke ground. You put Pong in there, you put the Woodbine. You put Mario in there. I argue Fallout 1, 2, and 3 should be in there for sure. There's a lot of good writing in games. We decided that we archive books. Obviously, books have a huge contribution to the arts, to our culture, to our society. There's storytelling in games too. That's what books are. They're a medium for storytelling. Games are another way to tell stories, and in many ways, they're an equally powerful medium in their own unique way because you have to interact with the story. Super congestion. Super congestion. It's getting gross up in here. I wanted to play the OG release again. I remember the first update for Halo 2 when they fixed grabbing weapons through walls, and it was probably my first experience with Game Patch console, so I wanted to play the OG release again after it was out. Something cool, even though you can get banned for it, is if you have a modded 360 where they put that like RC HP chip on it. It's something like that. It's really close. You can play a game and then you can choose which patch you want to play it on. It's tough because obviously the game designers, what we have to figure out is like this synergy that's going to be really tough between how the developers see the game made it and how the fans see it. I feel like there should be, on the best games, there should be variations on the signature patch. It's like the Donnie Darko cuts. Fans love the OG cut. This is the best one. But then the director made a cut of Donnie Darko and it's awful. But obviously he loves that cut. He made it for a reason. That's what he thinks the movie should be. He gets way too into its own self and tries to make a bunch of philosophical points that don't exist, and it just like ruins the movie. So maybe we have like, this was the patch that fans thought the game was the best. This is the fans' choice version of Borderlands 3. And then you have the devs' choice version. Sort of like what's going on with Disco Elysium right now. Where they just released the definitive cut. So I'm looking forward to that coming out on Xbox. I want to check it out. Not a lot of storytelling in this section here, just a lot of shooting. Okay, Ava's murder mysteries. Can Gearbox make us love Ava? I sincerely doubt it. And if you're comparing her to Anakin, not Anakin. God dang, who's the little boy? No, it is Anakin. Yeah, Anakin. Randy Pitchford compared Ava to Anakin. It's like, yeah, well, people didn't really like Anakin either. Which I think he's also given the story away. Ava's gonna be a baddie. This looks a lot like the Spendopticon. There's a cyberpunk reference. Giving some love. Ava's gonna kill a bunch of kids. Yeah, she's gonna kill the younglings and like it, Jeremiah. Exactly.
You're in for it now.
I need a shield buster. That guy is buff on the shield. Wow, actually knocked her away. The biggest thing that's helping right now is that they put an AI buddy in here to help get the pickups. I don't even know how I got a hold of this shit. Badass Ranger Sumo, you know this guy's gonna have unique drops attached to him. I mean, it shoots fast, but that damage is not anything. Meant to be the fodder to get pickups on. I can't even drop them. Yeah, we're gonna kill the raid boss for sure. Gonna kill Badass Raging Sumo. The Novas will get him. The Novas will get him once we finally get that big ass shield off him.
The holy fire! Fall away!
Here comes the
Both of those missed, but they look like clean swipes. Clean swipes that all went wide right. These guys have some meaty ass shields on them.
Yeah, that's him. Oh, you get back
I
here.
need some ammo.
This is it. We'll look.
Hell with it. Let's put the conference call on.
Ghost murderer reveal their supernatural powers.
The ghost murdered her with insane power. Well, they had a destructible environment at a very limited capacity on certain
Will they get turned into spaghetti sauce by a subway car?
objects.
Bollocks. Over here, Vault Hunter.
It's over here. Talk to Lorelei.
Case closed. Our man
This is our
died as
epilogue.
sloppily as he killed your friend.
And I'm not sure what I think.
Oh, too soon? Sorry.
Nah, it's all right. I suppose if we can't put the killer behind bars, we can at least put him in a bucket or 5.
What the chanting? All the symbols.
Yeah, I'll leave that for your podcast to work out. Good work, Vault.
It wasn't a ghost this whole time, no.
Justice brings a glimmer of light to Eschaton Row. But where
It
the
was a
light
train.
shines, the
It's pretty
shadows
funny.
only grow
But that doesn't make
deeper.
any sense.
What's
Why was it a
hiding in
train?
those shadows? All we know is it just keeps getting mysteriouslier. See you next
Mysteriouslier.
episode, listeners.
Mysteriously. Well, we did it. But I talked through 80% of the story at least, so I didn't get too much out of it. It had to do with the train, but the guy had a knife in him, so it probably didn't have to do with the train. Now, we were supposed to go look at the Anoint reroll system if we still have Gunner here. Hey, we had a substantive episode. That was a word you two.